Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I audible to everyone?
Guys, is he audible? Can you hear him? Yeah. Okay. It's okay. I'll be there.
Okay.
I'll get started now.
Yeah, we can start right now.
Perfect. Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. As Celsia mentioned, this will be a light session where we'll be going through basic prototyping. If you have already worked on Figma screens, uh, very basic screens, you can learn prototyping over here. I'll show you a few examples of how you can implement a lot of stuff using just the basic prototyping tools that we have. And we have an exclusive playground where I'll be showing you all the interactions that we have, and you'll get a chance to play around with it. And at the end of the session, I'll give you a hint of what we can do with advanced prototyping also. And advanced prototyping, I think we can keep it aside for another day. But yeah, let me just quickly go to this. Yeah. So just observe this entire demo that I will be doing. Just see how many interactions that you can catch, and basically just note down how many interactions that you are seeing right now. It's this loading screen. If you want to add a story, this is basically like an replica of WhatsApp or Messenger that we created. Aratai is another app that we use in India, uh, based out of Chennai, and we made a revamp of this one single app. And this is one. You select this. You have loaders like just like WhatsApp, and you can type messages over here and send. And there's the hamburger menu where so once you, if you want to start a new chat, you can click on this. There's scrolling over here. The all, if I select this, I'll see, oh, what's there. And there's horizontal scrolling over here. There are groups. You can call people. Just guys, just stop and let me know if I'm going a little bit fast. So this is just a very tiny section of what is possible with just a basic prototyping. I hope you guys observed how many interactions we had over here. And with that, I think we can go ahead with the explanation, just a deep down and breakdown of what these prototyping tools are.
So guys, can you open the file that I shared to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you
Make a copy of yours.
and then, but during the tutorial, hopefully you can just follow the cursor, our instructor cursor. Yeah, that will be more because over here is like project and a little bit delay. So you can go back to the link which I provide you guys, the file, and then click the avatar on the top to follow the instructor. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone clear, right?
All right, so you have to go to the one I shared to you. This one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so because our, right? Yeah, so
Okay.
follow the instructor.
Yeah.
cursor. All right. So everyone in the same page over here?
Everyone is on the same page, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
If you guys are on the same page, just switch to the prototype tab. Guys, can you just tell them how to go to the prototype tab from design to prototype?
Panel.
Yes, yeah, the prototype panel, and then you'll see a play button near the first frame saying flow. Just click on that.
Narasimhan, just a minute.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the prototype will be available on your copy of.
Sorry, Mom.
Do you want us to be on our copy, social? Just our
Yeah,
copy?
for
Yeah.
if you want to work on it, then you'll have to be on your copy.
Okay, not to.
Yeah.
And then you can also like switch back and then follow him.
Follow him or
Yeah.
see on screen.
Because this has some kind of delay over here. So, yeah.
Let me make it bigger.
Yeah, so basically mostly the basic gestures, and then we work with how to create a draw and how the keyboard kind of comes out. So those kind of animations. Yeah. I mean, once he zooms in, I think it will be working. Yeah. Yeah. Narasimhan, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're good.
Perfect. So let's quickly look into the entire rundown of all the interactions that I did over here, and then I'll break down one by one how you can do that. So tap is basically just a very simple on-click interaction. You click here, you go there, as simple as that. And hold is again, while you keep your mouse down, you press it, it changes to the other variant. And when you let it down, let it out, it will go back to its original state, as simple as that. And the next is hover. Mind, this will work only on web versions. You can't use it on mobiles because hover technically is not there as a interaction for mobile phones. So basically, when you enter the space of the first variant with your mouse cursor, it will change to the second variant. Once you go out of that bounds, it will come back to its original state. And drag is basically just you can move it from one point to another by swiping or dragging. And this drag is basically used to do swipe animations. So this is the actual functionality of how you will be using drags in your mobile screens or web screens. I've made a swipe down version also over here. So the next one is for vertical scroll. You can use your scroll bar or your mouse to scroll up and down for vertical scroll. And the next one is basically give me 1 second.
Oh, that's it. It's done.
It's done?
That's the
Okay.
last one.
Yeah.
That's all. How about those ones?
Another is
And click this. Um,
These are like the basic gestures you probably will be using in your mobile apps or website.
Yeah, this is basically like an overlay. If you have read about elevations like layering of different elements in a screen, this will be in a separate elevation where all the menu bars that we have in our mobile phones will be shown like this. And the drop down menus in web will be using this particular animation, just an overlay on top of your existing screen. You click here, it closes. And if you click on the hamburger menu, it opens. Simple. And the overlay can also be used in a different way where uh, if you start typing something, the keyboard actually pans out of the screen. How does it happen? It actually uses an overlay gesture. Simple. Next, this is the last one where we've used a little bit of advanced prototyping techniques over here, where you have the price of an item, and as and when you increase the number, the actual total amount will also increase. That is basically it. Uh, can I get a heads up of whether or not everyone are following this?
So yeah, now you guys can go, what we want to do, right? So you guys can go to your copy of Figma file and then go to the page which is called Playground, Basic Prototype Playground,
Over
the
here.
one which Chris is pointing out. And then we can start building interaction by interaction, okay? Is everyone on the same page? Yeah, literally. Yeah. Go to your copy. Yeah, okay, so go to playground, yeah. Yeah. All right, that's when you can proceed.
Yeah. So let's break down each interaction one by one that we looked at. We have, whenever you start doing something, just, oh, someone already created a flow. Whenever you want to create a prototype, the first thing that you have to do is select an initial frame, and you have to identify it as a flow starting point. So only then you can visualize your prototypes, or else it won't be showing up in your prototype screen. That is the starting point. And once you're done with that, we have to do this interaction of tap, that is on click interaction. All you have to do is select the element that you want to click, that is the action space, and drag your arrow to the next frame where you want to go. And by default, it will give you on click interaction. And that is what we are intending to do right now. And I'll just give you a breakdown of all the options that you see in the dialog box when you point that arrow to the next frame. So the first one is basically on click, and all the other interactions that we see over here. All these are used in our basic gestures, the entire list. Right now, we'll be using just the on click interaction. And the second one is navigate to. Navigate to, and you have back option. Change to is used only when you have a component set of different variants that will be breaking down of that in the next section. And all the others are based out of variables, and scrolling and overlays. Overlays will come back to it later. Navigate is simple. You click on this, you go to the second page. And here we are giving a very simple animation of color change. But with this, you can do whatever you want. And
Narasimhan, can you slow down a bit?
oh, yeah. So the next row basically says what frame you're pointing at. You can also see that the frame 3 is highlighted on top of it. That is already we have selected it along with the arrow mark, so we don't have to mention that over here. And the next row basically says what type of animation you want. Do you want it to be instant, or do you want it to dissolve over a period of time? Basically, it will fade out the initial frame and fade in the second frame. And there's smart animations. Smart animations will be used where from the first frame and the second frame, if you have certain elements with the same layer names, those will actually morph or change shift places when the animation happens. I'll show it to you guys once I show you how we use smart animations. Here it's very simple. You do a smart animation of ease out with 300 milliseconds. This is basically the amount of time it takes to animate from this screen to the other. Ease out, ease in, all these are basically Bezier curves. If you guys are not familiar with what Bezier curves are, very simple. You just click on any one of these predefined ones and click on custom Bezier. You'll see a curve like this is the speed that it will change the animation. Simple. As you can see, if you click on ease in and out and go to the custom one, you can see it starts out slow and the speed is a lot in between the animation, and it slows down at the end also. Today we are not looking into the type of animation and the speed that it will take, but that is a placeholder for another day. How we can use this to make animations as good as we want it to be. And once this is done, we can check the prototype once with the play button. I click it. Is it going there? Yes, good. And these next buttons, it's not required right now.
Everyone got the tab.
Sure.
Does it work? Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Is everyone following with the tap animation right now?
Animation, right? Yeah. All right. Sorry.
Probably over here.
Yeah. So basically, it means that on click, it goes to the frame 3 and smart animate. And then now you just click on the same tap. Yeah, we got animation. You got it, right? Yeah, so tap on the right one. Let's go click on the frame itself. And then go to
Area is okay?
It's all good.
yeah, but we kind of did it, so it should work. Yeah, you're done.
All right, we can
All
continue.
good?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, perfect. Hooray, we are done with our first animation for the day. We'll go for the next one. Again, start another flow point in the the third frame that we have, where we have hold, the first screen of hold. And here you select the element that you want to basically make the animation for, that is the circle inside. And again, the same thing, drag it to the next frame. Same method that we did for tap, but here we'll be changing from on click to while pressing. While pressing basically means that you're holding on to your left button, left click, and that essentially mimics the holding animation. Again, it's navigating to the next frame. This is all clear. Again, smart animate, ease in and out, 300 milliseconds. You don't you can just play around with these numbers, guys. So you can change how it changes, ease in and out, ease in. You can check out these bouncy animations, although it's pretty crazy. You can do something like that. Oh yeah, you can check the timer.
You guys are done?
Yeah.
Now, try to play that. Try to play that particular thing. What do you mean? So on clicking that, on pressing that ball, it should, yeah, bigger size of it.
Good.
All good?
Also reverse, so that when you click, you go back to the original.
Yeah, got it.
How do you reverse it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Do
got
the
it.
same thing over to this login.
Oh, in and out back?
Yeah, they get back.
In and out back, it will have a little bit of bouncy effect. But for dedicated bouncy effect, you have another option for that also below. You have gentle and there's other options also, right?
Is everyone done?
Yes.
Yeah. We can move on to the next animation.
Gotcha. Yes. So once this is done, we'll go for the hover one. Let's make it pretty quick because again, it will have the same methods as we saw before also. You select the element that you want to animate for, map it to the second frame, and you change on click to while hovering. Instead of having while pressing, you have it as while hovering. As simple as that. And if you have already used very certain settings for the smart animations, like you want ease in and out or ease in and out back with a certain milliseconds delay, that will already be kept as a placeholder when you do it again. Basically saves time for you guys. Yeah. Same method as before, just use the interaction while hovering instead of while pressing.
You don't need to click, it's like hovering status. So when your mouse hover on it, it will have a different. That is how.
Like a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Everyone done with the homework? Yeah, we can move on to the next one.
Perfect. So this drag animation is another one where let's say if you want to use this drag animation somewhere in your app screen, the only tip that I can give you is make sure from one screen to another, you're not copying and pasting any elements because that will change the layer name of that element. Instead, it is better that you guys just use the same element, use the same screen, or just duplicate the entire frame and then move the elements around. So here again, it's simple. Select the first element and then map it to the second frame. And here you will be using on drag. Very simple. And here another animation that you can do is from the second screen. In the second screen, you have the same blue circle. Select that and map it to the first screen so that you'll have two drag animations. You can drag it from one corner to the other and from the other corner to the first point also.
It's also on track,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both is on track.
On track, yes. Let's say you wanna on your app screen, you wanna drag one file to another, one place to another, you could like have this animation. Yeah.
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 Double
Yeah, you could do that. And this is also very important, the next one, swipe. You probably will use it in all your mobile screens.
Is everyone good with the drag one?
Is everyone good with it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. So again, swipe is again a glorified version of drag animation that we saw right now. Here, I swipe up. So if you see the layering over here, there will be a nested frame. You click on that frame and you map it to the second frame. Here again, you will be having on drag. So the same thing over here, click on the nested frame, map it to the first frame and change the interaction to on drag.
Everyone got it?
Mhm.
You got it?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Can you talk a little bit more about the nested?
Nested frames. Narasimhan, can you talk more about the nested frame?
So yeah, if you click on the actual frame and if you see the layering in the left panel, you can see that there will be a nested frame. There will be a frame inside that frame and you have to click that frame and then point that to the next screen. So basically, instead of selecting the circle, just a single element, here we'll be selecting the entire frame.
So that's how basically the screen kind of looks like. So you have like the first frame.
Yeah.
And the next frame is basically the extension of the first frame. And then
So
you
yeah.
show the first frame and then you kind of duplicate it and then you proceed to animate it. So it seems like you're actually but then it already exists.
Yes.
So you basically swipe up like this. This is exactly how it works inside this frame. Like this.
So you have that parent frame and this is the child frame which is nested within that. So now if you kind of have dropped it.
Something like this.
Thank you.
Since it's nested, it's quite hard to see. But if you bring it outside, you'll clearly see what is exactly happening. So I've given a breakdown over here. If you guys want it for a future reference, you can use this one also. Is everyone good with the swipe animation?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Let's go to scrolls. This is something that you guys will be using a lot in a lot of mobile apps everywhere basically. Here, drag will be used between 2 points where if you observe, if you actually run this drag animation once more, you can see that if you try to keep it, try to drag it for a very little amount of space, it will come back to the original state. Only if you move it more than 50% of the actual distance between point 1 and point 2, it will go to the second state. So this is an issue. If I wanted to stay in this particular position, I won't be able to do it with drag animation. which is exactly what is being resolved with the scroll. Like basically like this. You can just scroll it. And if you guys can come to the original file, I'll be giving a breakdown of how it's done. Again, the same nested frames like what we have in the swipe animation. Here, we'll be making the nested frame, which should be that there is a rule over here. You have to make it longer than the original, the parent frame. And once you do that, you can reduce the actual size, basically the height. And here, if you go to prototype mode, you'll have something called scroll behavior. So you have to change it from no scrolling to vertical or horizontal, whichever you want. Horizontal one is there in the next frame.
Are you able to find the scroll behavior option? Everyone got the scrolling option? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Let me do this. So the thing is, so let's say your phone is of a particular size, and then you have another frame which you create, which is longer than your phone screen. Then you need scrolling for that. So your the screen which you want to have it on your mobile will be the child screen, the child frame of it. So after that, after you add that in the parent component, you kind of implement it. So you reduce the height and then make sure that you change the overflow behavior.
Hey.
To, yeah. Hi.
Hi, Hannah.
So I do the gesture for milk.
Yeah.
And then if I still keep it smart on animating, so easy, it's like moving. There's no like difference.
Yeah, that's what he mentioned, right? So it's like if you have like 50%, it's not being scrolled up, then it kind of goes back to the initial position.
Which one?
Narasimhan, can you elaborate the difference between drag and scroll again?
Yeah, drag basically has point A and point B. You can only keep it in those 2 points. If I try to keep it anywhere in between, it doesn't stay there. It comes back to either the original position or the next position based on how much distance is being traveled already. So here, let's say if I have a requirement where I have to stop it in between. Real life case scenarios, there's a long drop down list. I have to scroll and stop it in between. But if the drop down section doesn't allow me to do that, it just stays in the top part or the bottom part. That will be a really bad experience, right? That is where we have scrolls. So
Yeah. Sure. I think, is everyone good with the scrolling? Vertical scrolling? Yeah. Yeah, we can move on to the next one.
perfect. So you can see the same behavior over here. Horizontal scrolls. Same thing. In the same scroll behavior, instead of having it as vertical scrolls, you can have it as horizontal scrolls. Like all the stories that you see, all these are horizontal scrolls, stories, statuses, all that.
Even your Netflix thing, it's all kinds of scrolling.
Instagram stories, everything has a horizontal scroll.
So you kind of do the same thing, but then you restrict it, on the x-axis. So the overflow option would be horizontal in this case.
Yeah, it's fine. Um, Celsia, you can, because we are saying that's how to do it on. Hannah, do you have any like problems about how to use the scoring kind of things?
Oh, she is actually just repeating what I am saying. So if she's hearing me, that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, are we good to go? Can I go the next one or?
Celsia, should we go continue?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Please.
Perfect.
Thanks.
So for the next one, I would like everyone to be in the original file and or in your own file also. Just open this and here what we are trying to do is when I click on this hamburger menu, I have to see this on top of my screen, but it should have a distinction between the original layer. It should have some kind of elevation. It should not merge with the original file also. If I keep it on top of it, it just merges it. I don't want that. So what I have to do is click on the hamburger menu, drag it to the sidebar menu that I've already designed. And here, instead of having it as on click, I have to change it as, we can keep it as on click. That is enough for now. Usually we'll be using side drags also. But here we have to change the other option where it says navigate to. Instead of that, we have to select open overlay. Here you will see a dialog box appearing. It's a quite different one than what you have seen before. Basically, it opens this as an overlay on top of your parent screen. And it basically detects what kind of overlay you are keeping, and then it will assume out of these three predefined options. Top left is basically for the sidebar menu. So it already gave us this option. We'll keep that one. And you can check these two options that says close when clicking outside and add background. I'll show you why you have to check this also. And when you play this prototype, which one? The options. So basically, when you see the overlay settings, you have predefined options over here. You can either keep it as centered, that is a scenario where you have pop-up messages. I just want it stuck in the middle of the screen. You can use this. Or if you have a sidebar menu, you can click on the top left button. Or if you have a keyboard, you can do bottom center. They have actually given tiny illustrations of what the expected behavior is also over here. It's pretty useful. It's good. And the next option basically says click close when clicking outside. Basically means if I have an overlay and I click on outside this area, the dark area which we are seeing over here, it closes that overlay. Simple. And again, the next one is adding background. How much elevation do you want between the overlay screen and the parent screen? Usually it's 25% of black, or if you want it to be a little bit darker, we can do that too. Let's say I keep it 50. The distinction between the overlay is a lot more. Where we won't be using add background is when we use keyboards. When I have my keyboard up, I don't want the rest of my screen to be dark. That is another use case where you should uncheck that option. And here again, we can play around with the settings where it says instant. We can keep it as move in animation. It shows a visual representation of how the animation will be. And let's say you want it to be a little bit slower, you want it to be a little bit smoother. You can increase the time I usually keep it between 600 to 1000. More than that will be unnecessary, to be honest. So you can play around with the options, see which one makes more sense. And usually, if you have a sidebar coming from the left side, you have to select this option where it comes out of the left side. And yeah, that's basically it. You've done a sidebar.
Rental terms, they kind of call this. I mean, in your UX class, you'll be learning about material UI, right? So the component name is called drawer. So this is the basic prototype of that.
And there's another interaction where you can close an overlay by clicking any one of the items inside this drawer. So I can click on this element inside this frame, the overlay frame, and add an interaction. On click, what do I have to do? I want to close this overlay. That is basically the last option that you see over here. Close this overlay. Simple. And now let's test the entire thing. I click on this, I go to the menu and I click on the other one. It closes the overlay.
Yeah. Can you do it again? People couldn't see the thing which you did.
Oh, the close overlay?
Closing the overlay. Can you do it?
Yes. Okay. So this is the overlay frame that we have. You have to click on the element that will trigger closing the overlay. And here in the prototype panel, you have interactions. This is the same thing that we use with this plus point over here, but in the right properties panel. You click on this, again, the same panel that you have over here will pop up. On click, you have to close overlay. This the last option in the second row.
Were you able to find the option on the right lane?
Right bar over here. Right
Is it
corner.
on the
Yeah,
prototype?
yeah, on your right panel.
Is it interaction?
Yeah.
Interaction.
Yes, yes, yes.
So basically on click, you want the overlay to close. So close overlay. That's the option you have to click. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got the
You
option?
find it?
Yeah.
I find it.
You couldn't find it?
I could find it. Like, could you double check if that's right? So I select this.
Click the
and
plus
this is,
button.
On click and
On click. So the interaction is click. On
yeah.
click and then close overlay.
Okay.
Yeah, you have.
Then I just drag this.
Yeah. No, you already did it, right? I mean,
That's it.
try to. Okay. Yeah, close overlay. Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
So play this. No, play from that. So
Play from
kind of,
this.
yeah. Where it opens up. Yeah. Okay, this will do.
Sure.
Now click on.
Yes.
Yeah. Where's the overlay screen?
This is so that was.
So you kind of want to stick on here.
This option.
Move it, and then from left, and then you can set it to 600.
600.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why it is?
Oh, on drag, it's on click.
Now we are teaching with some student may probably have problems about UX, so it's okay.
I think this is only, but this this line is not.
I did my undergrad here a couple years ago. I'd say the oldest person I can remember I think she's 30.
Chris, can you confirm?
Click option is disabled. What
Which one?
would be on click function? They are trying to open an overlay
Frame 14.
Huh.
on frame 14. Some of the on click function is disabled.
So it works in the system.
So there is a quirk in Figma where you can use an interaction only once for an element. If you have, just click on the element that you want to do that on click one,
Yeah.
go to prototype mode and see if it's looking something like this. It should look like click with none.
Yeah, we got it now.
Yeah. Just remove that. Click on the minus button and then do it again. It will work.
Yeah, we already said that. No playlist. That's the thing you did earlier. So when you click this one, only one could be there. So you added one song, which is not necessary. You added rap, which is not. So only click should be there.
Okay.
And on clicking that, it should come here. So right now we just see that it goes here.
There's no GRE even required, which is kind of wild how low it's making more standards.
So this issue usually happens when you copy it from another place and it doesn't have a target frame to map to. It just keeps as none. So you have to check if there are any redundant interactions over there before you start working on it.
Yeah, we can move on to the next animation.
Now, perfect. So let's look at the next one. Again, this is another overlay. But instead of having a drawer, we'll be doing a keyboard, right? Here, when I click on the typing space, I want to open the keyboard. So I map that particular section. This is nested inside this frame. You have to double click. And from there, you map it to the keyboard below. And then change it to on click, navigate to, instead of that, change it to open overlay. And here, you don't want it to move in from the left side. You want to move it up from the bottom, right? So you have to select this option where the keyboard will come from bottom to top. And again, here it will detect what type of element you are selecting and it will give you a predefined option, just bottom center, which is perfect for us. If it's not like that, you can change it to whatever you want. And in another option that we have in overlay is a manual section. This can be used if you're using tooltips where let's say on hovering over hovering over something, I want to show a small tooltip saying this is how it should be used. You can use manual and it will show a grayed out half opacity element like that. You can move it around to define where the overlay should come. But you guys can play around with this and do other overlays for that later on. Right now, I'm just showing the most used scenarios where we'll be using overlays. We have to choose bottom center, and that's basically it. Here, you should make sure that you're not adding any background because we don't want a background when we are typing something. That is another one. But you can close when you're clicking outside. That is one thing that you can do.
Hide the contents behind.
Play. Look at this.
So click on that. Yeah.
And again, just like what we showed over here for close overlay, here you can do the same thing. Like you double click on this element and select an interaction, on click, close overlay.
Add interaction. On click, yeah. Okay. And then it's already done. So yeah. Close overlay. Yes, got it. So on click, the overlay will be closed.
Okay, we have to continue.
Yeah.
All right, so next one.
We can move on to the next one, right?
Perfect. So the next one is the one that uses advanced prototyping. But since you guys have duplicated the file, if you're not just make sure you're not clicking anything. And if you see on the right side panel, you have something called local variables. Chris, can you confirm if they found it?
Yeah, it's not visible yet. Yeah, we can see now.
It's visible?
Yeah. Yeah, after this, we'll wrap this because I think this professor waiting outside. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Again, how you open this screen?
Yeah, can you go, how did you come to that menu?
Open this window. How you open this window?
Yeah. Make sure you're not selecting any frame. Just to double check, just click outside somewhere. And you should see a screen like this. There will be local variables, local styles, and export.
On design, right?
Design column.
Design.
Yes, design, yes.
And then you should see local variables, local
Local
styles.
variables. So if you click on local variables, you'll get to this pop-up.
Local variables, yeah. Yeah.
It will come up like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, I'll just quickly, walk through about what variables I'm using over here. If it's in any other collection, just click on this drop down and go to collection 2. You'll be seeing 4 variables over here. Can you guys confirm if you guys can find it?
Everyone got the screen, right? The variable screen. Yeah.
Variable collection 2, you have 3 main variables, that is number of items. This is basically a normal item card where you have the price of a single item and you can add any n number of items and it will show what is basically your total amount that you have to pay. This has a lot of use cases. I'll quickly show you a use case that we are using in our company later on. So basically, the first variable is number of items that defines this number. It is in 0 right now, and price is 4.8. That is this number that we are defining as 4.8, and total is basically this. How do you make sure these numbers have these variables? Once you define all those variables, you have to select this basically just this text icon. And then you have to click on this hexagon where it says apply variable and change it to whatever variable that you have created already. That is this total. So once that is done, you can switch to prototype mode.
Have you guys set up for the task over here? I need to give the buyer.
That's good. Where do we find the hexagon again?
Yeah, it's already done. So we go to.
Wait. hexagon. Yeah. You have to select any text, the final, your totals, 0 is in a text style. You have to select that. And then here in this right side properties panel, under text, in the bottom right corner above the 3 dots, you will have apply variable. That is the hexagon button.
Yeah.
Bottom right corner above the 3 dots.
Yeah. And then price. Yeah.
Click on that and select total.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. Yep.
Yeah. Now you have to select the plus button, go to prototype mode, and you have to start. You have to start an interaction over here. And on click, you have to set variable.
Is anyone getting choose team more? No, right? Are you using your school email? Guys, we could wrap it up. Probably Narasimhan can record this particular interaction.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to their effort.
Really great. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
And yeah. Hope you have a good night tonight.
Yeah. Yes, sleep. Yeah.
See you guys tomorrow.
Oh. Sunset, do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
You can talk.
No. It's done. I can talk to him later. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, bye-bye, Narasimhan.
Bye. That's it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Did you take photos?
You can just
Yeah, just
click.
come in quickly.
Oh, he's gone. Okay, never mind.